Welcome to Baking with Chickens Live, the show where I bake using eggs from my backyard chickens. I'm Christina, your host, and today I have a very, very special guest with me today. I have Kirstyn Shaw of the very best cookies in the whole wide world, and we're doing a collab together.
So excited for this.
Yeah!
My first collab. Our first collab.
Yeah, it's my first collab too. So I have her here with me today showing you how to make our Easter Magic Blondie Bars. And Dustin, I still can't see myself, so I don't know what camera I'm looking at. So thank you for watching, you guys, and thank you for being patient with any technical difficulties. Please drop anything in the live comment feed if you see it, because we are shooting outside and this is a whole new set of challenges today. So thank you again for your patience as you are beta testing for us, and hopefully we can get this going. All right, so Kirstyn Shaw, a very best cook in the whole wide world. So we became friends on Instagram only in the last year, and I love supporting women entrepreneurs. She started her business. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to ask her all the questions while these cookies are baking, because they do bake for about 30 minutes. So we need to get going here. So if you have any questions for Kirstyn, drop them in the comments. Mr. Baking with Chickens is manning the comment feed if you want to follow along on this recipe. So there is my version of the recipe on my site, bakingwithchickens.com. The link is down in the description below if you want to follow along. The collab is going to be slightly different because in the spirit of a collab, we're using Kirstyn's delicious cookie base for ours. So there's a little bit of difference, but it's still going to be delicious and amazing. So, all right, you ready to bake?
Ready, let's do this.
All right, buck bake? All right, title card, serve. All right, so to make this recipe, first you're gonna make just pretty much, it's a blondie base. So if you guys have ever had a blondie or a magic bar, this is a delicious, amazing mashup of two different things. So I love blondies, I love magic bars, but I don't love that magic bars are too dry. So I figured putting it with the blondie would be perfect because it's soft, it's chewy.
And she nailed it, let me tell you.
It's sweet, it's salty, it's all of these delicious things. And Kirstyn and I both separately had an idea to do magic bars with pretzels. However, I will tell you right now, if you try to crumble pretzels into a powder and turn that into a crust, it doesn't work, and it's dry and it's sucky and it hurts my mouth. So a blondie is the perfect base for these Magic Blondie Bars. So
absolutely.
I am going, okay, so if you're making my recipe at home, I have basically a basic soft cookie recipe. I reduced the sugar so it's a bit more fluffy and cake-like, but Kirstyn's delicious secret cookie recipe, which she's not gonna tell us, but you should order her cookies, and we're gonna talk more about our collab and how you can get these later on, so keep on watching. So Kirstyn, okay, I'm gonna mix in my ingredients while you tell us about your cookie dough. So while you make the cookie dough recipe, you're gonna mix in cornflakes because that gives it texture, crushed pretzels, more texture, and chocolate chips. But Kirstyn, tell me about your cookie dough recipe. So like, why are these the very best freaking cookies in the whole wide world?
I mean, for any butter fanatics out there, I only use Plugra butter, and Plugra is like the fancy butter. It's delicious. It's European higher fat content. So it just, you can really taste the difference. The butter shines through. And yeah, just top quality ingredients. I probably add a little bit more, well, I guess that's after bake, but salt. The salt really balances things, and we're gonna salt these too.
Okay, do you brown the butter?
On these I do not.
Okay.
Like, yeah, this is just my regular cookie base.
So how did you come up with this recipe? Like, where did it come from?
I mean, I have been making cookies since I was probably in 3rd grade. Of course, starting with the Toll House recipe and the Mrs. Fields, and just like trying every recipe out there and
totally
experimenting.
Classic.
And, yeah, seeing what makes a difference. I mean, when I started this company, I really realized that how you make it matters just as much as the ingredients that are in it. So like whether your butter is room temp or your eggs and all of that stuff can really have an impact on how the product turns out. So just nailing all those things. It's a pretty basic recipe though. That's it. That's the secret.
Wait, but then you also told me that you let your dough rest.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
So what's the deal? Why do you do that?
So that helps all of the flavors really caramelize and come together. And so dough typically gets a 48 to 72 hour rest before it gets baked.
Wow, so that's two to 3 days rest. Wow, that's really intense.
And it definitely makes a difference, let me tell you.
So I'm putting my muscle in this to mix it up. So typically when I'm making my version of the recipe, this all just goes in the stand mixer, but because we're using Kirstyn's super delicious Plugra butter aged, I'm gonna call it aged cookie dough. Is that a thing? Aged?
I feel like that's a thing, yeah.
Or is that ageist?
It is now.
I don't know. Okay, cool. So we've got all of this good stuff. So basically this is a blondie base with just a bunch of stuff mixed in because it's delicious and I like it. All right, so I'm gonna have, so the next step is I'm gonna have Kirstyn, you wanna like press the cookie dough into the bottom of a, so I have a glass, you can totally use metal too, whatever works. Just a 9x9 Pyrex pan lined with parchment paper. So you're gonna take that cookie dough and just like press it all into the bottom. How are we doing over here? All right, I'm trying to manage the temperature control over there on the oven because we're using a wood-fired oven, so it's a little bit different. And I know we got sun splotchies. I hope you guys can see us okay. Should I back up the table a sec? Would that be better?
If you guys,
Watch.
if you can get Kirstyn in a little shade.
Yeah, there we go. Better.
Awesome.
Hey. Okay, go. Oops. Awesome. So, hey everybody, thanks for joining us out there in TV, internet, YouTube land, I guess. Who do we have with us? Drop it in comments. I know Mr. Baking with Chickens is a little frantic today because this is the first time that we're baking outside and we have guests. Oh, and we also have a guest cameraman too. So our friend Casey's here helping us with the cameras and all these other things. So
we've got Cat Apocalypse, we've got Diana Shaw, we've got Dan Hughes, we've got a ton of people here. Michelle's back. I love it.
Hello everybody. I love that you guys come hang out with me for Sunday baking sessions. These are so fun. I think we're gonna start doing these weekly. I think, yeah, these are fun. I like them. And if there's a better time than 11, let me know. I guess you're watching, so this is a good time for you, but I don't know for other people.
Can we send a survey out on that?
Yeah,
we actually could on Instagram. Or
we could.
You could
well,
on Instagram.
we want to eventually get these on all the channels, but like, I can just do what I can do at this point.
How's this looking?
It's looking good. Yeah, hey, if we have extra cookie dough, we can just...
I know, bake that off.
Yeah.
I kind of want to try some.
Yeah, you can totally use your hands to mush it in too. Don't feel like... So we're baking this at home today, so we're not using gloves, but for our collab that we will tell you how you can get your hands... Oh, look at this, we got some nice shape. They're going to be made in Kirstyn's commercial kitchen where it is much more professional than right now where I am using my fists to mash things in. But yeah, guys, so like what I love about this recipe, if you're making it at home, is like, it's really not that specific.
It's not fussy.
Yeah,
not fussy at all.
It's very, very easy, and there's a lot of room for messing up and doing whatever you want. And so Kirstyn and I were just talking about this, and both of us were saying that like, both of us are better cooks than we are bakers because we don't like to measure.
No. I don't like to follow a recipe. Let alone measure. Are you kidding me?
I'm not precise. I'm not patient. Like, you know, like that really specific detail work and like people who like measure perfectly and weigh and like brush. No, I don't have time for that. Like I take my thing, I dip it in, I scoop, I shake it, and I dump it.
Having a scale is pretty life-changing though.
I do, yeah. Mr. Bacon was trying to convince me to use a scale and I was like fighting it, and now I actually really like it.
It's so much easier because it's, you're just, I love it.
The digital scale is fantastic.
I just got a gram scale I'm really excited about.
Oh, yeah, we have a cool that we use it to measure all our packages, to weigh our packages too. But you know, the cool thing is, you know, that's why I started baking with chickens, because I always felt I wasn't a good baker and I would be afraid to try things and I'd be afraid to bake things. Kirstyn is a better cook than a baker, and she has a cookie company. So
on accident.
We're going to talk about that. Yeah, I'm going to ask you all about that. But you know, the whole point is that like it's okay. Like you just bake things, and this is the type of recipe where you can kind of make things up. Like I have amounts, but like you could use a little more cornflake. You could use a little more pretzel. Like I'm just smushing stuff in. It's all good. Just don't burn it, and it should taste fine. All right, so Kirstyn, I'm going to set this aside. So do you want to pour in the condensed milk? Okay, so now we've got our blondie base here, and the next step is pouring in the sweetened condensed milk. So now we're getting into the Magic Bar portion. Oh, I missed my nerdy food fact. We'll keep coming back to that. So now we're going to get into the magic bar portion of this. And so a magic bar is typically crumbled graham crackers mixed with butter to make a base. And then you pour in condensed milk, and then you mash in chocolate chips, butterscotch chips, nuts, and coconut flakes.
And I've never heard it called Magic Bar. I always knew it as a Hello Dolly.
Oh yeah, do you guys know why magic bars, magic 7-layer Hello Dolly bars are what they are? Got a nerdy food fact for you. 7-layer bar, or Hello Dollys, or what else have been called? Or coconut dream bars, they've also been called. And the reason why is because they came about in about the 1960s, 1964, and the musical Hello Dolly, starring Carol Channing, was the most popular thing at the time. So that's why we suspect that they might have been called Hello Dollys. But yeah, I think the first time the recipe was found in a news article, it was sent in by an 11-year-old girl, and her grandmother had given her the recipe, and she sent it into a newspaper. But that's basically what they are. So whatever you call them, they're super delicious. And then I missed my cue for the last one, so we're gonna do this again. I have another nerdy food fact for you. So because this is a blondie base, which is basically like a fluffier chocolate chip cookie, and Kirstyn is famous for her chocolate chip cookies. Do you know how the chocolate chip cookie was
I do
invented?
not. I'm excited for this.
Nerdy food fact. Ooh. Oh no, come back. Okay, so chocolate chip cookies were invented by Ruth Wakefield and Sue something, whatever. 2 women who lived in Massachusetts, and they had a restaurant called the Toll House Inn. Guys, Toll House Inn. Okay, on every bag of Nestle's it says Toll House, and there's a picture of a little house thing. Look at that, and it says established in 1939. So they had this restaurant that was really well known for their food, and they made cookies. And one day she chopped up a Nestle chocolate bar and mixed that into her cookie dough and baked them. And they were so popular that they turned into what, like, could you believe, like, you invent a cookie and now everyone in the entire world knows your cookie, and it's the most popular thing in the entire world. So the cool thing was she invented this cookie, and it became popular because it was featured on the Betty Crocker radio show.
Huh.
And then
I didn't even know there was a Betty Crocker radio show.
Betty
That's so
Crocker,
cool.
Isn't it? She's not even a real person. It was like somebody who was on the show. She was like a personality on a show,
Didn't know
turned
that
into a
either.
cookbook. And then, so because she used a Nestle chocolate, so Nestle contacted her and asked if they could use her recipe. So
I hope she made money on that.
so she gave them permission to use her recipe in exchange for $1
Oh, no.
and a lifetime supply of chocolate.
Oh,
And
no.
so they have the rights to use the Toll House
That
name,
is so rude.
the recipe, and all of it. I mean, I don't really know how she feels about that, or her family, but like, here's a good, right, like, that's a good lesson. Like, she gave it away, and now it's the most popular thing. I mean,
Don't give the goods away for free, kids.
I think they paid her to do some consulting and other stuff, but like, it was a little bit unclear. However, her recipe is on the back of every Toll House chocolate chip. So like, this one is Premier White Chip chocolate cookies, but I think it's pretty close to the original. So now you know the origin of chocolate chip cookies and Toll House.
I love that story.
Yeah. Hey.
Well, not all of it, but you know.
Let's catch up on
Oh, yeah.
a few comments.
Yeah.
Should we start sprinkling?
Mendile says,
Oh.
this is probably from maybe your cookies. I'm eating some of those cookies right now.
Yeah.
Really are the best.
They
Thank you.
are.
And then we've got Dan saying, quit bragging about the sun. You're cloud jamming us.
Yeah. Sorry. It's 60. It's like
I'm sorry.
68. Like, we're
I
a
know.
little
We were saying we
chilly.
were freezing.
Michelle says she missed your coffee yesterday.
Aw, Michelle, I miss you too.
Oh.
Look I get to socialize. This is our first time
I
socializing
know. I miss it so much.
live and in person, and this is a very big deal. Very exciting.
Dan asks, what are the brown items in the Blondie dough? Crushed Oreos, large chocolate chips.
Chocolate chips. So in the Blondie dough, I mixed in chocolate chips, cornflakes, and pretzels. And I hope you can hear dude crowing. There's some dogs barking. There's things happening. We're outside, guys. I hope you can hear me okay.
Nature's jazz.
Nature's. Dude, we're gonna go visit Dude in a little bit. But oh, I wanted to mention something with this recipe. So we have the blondie dough in the bottom. Kirstyn poured in the condensed milk. So in our collab version that you're going to be able to buy and purchase, there will not be any peanut butter or almond butter in it. However, in my version and in my recipe and in the one that we're making right now, there is some creamy natural peanut butter stirred in to give it a bit of a nuttier flavor. And the reason why I did that for my recipe is just because I personally prefer less sweet, more salty. So I stirred in the natural peanut butter with condensed milk to help cut some of that sweetness and give it some balance. However, if you have a nut allergy, if you don't like peanut butter or almond butter, you can totally omit it and just add in more condensed milk. Not a big deal.
Yeah, and I have a lot of customers that have nut allergies, so I left it out to accommodate them.
Yep. So the version that you're going to be able to buy with her on the
collab
collab that we're going to talk to you about later and will not have nuts. All right, so we've got the blondie layer, we've got the condensed milk layer, and now we're going to sprinkle some pretzels. So crushed pretzels to add in some of that salty crunch. Just like rough crunch, guys. Like you'll see I got some whole pieces there. I think it looks prettier. I just kind of take my hands and smash them about. If you can see it because we're in the sun. This is all changing.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's changing on a dime.
Yeah. So like you just kind of want to like spread in a nice even layer, no big deal, whatever. And then we're gonna take some cornflakes, spread the cornflakes on top. So I added cornflakes because I think it's a nice cereal. It gives you that texture, and
They're really good.
And it's not sweet. That's what I liked about it. Because it gives you like a little bit of something without all the sugar, and especially with like all condensed milk and chocolate chips and all these other things, Magic bars can be really sweet.
Really sweet.
But Kirstyn, when you were making these for the first time and I sent you the recipe, you were worried that these wouldn't stick, right? And so what did you do?
Yeah, so I put the condensed milk over the top of the coconut with the first batch I did, and I just found it took a little bit longer to bake, but I was afraid it wouldn't hold together, but I think
not the issue.
Not the issue.
Yeah, so
sometimes I'm not very good at following
So there's no wrong here. You could totally do that. It just didn't look as pretty. So
yeah, so I'm gonna go back to this way now that she's convinced me that it works.
Yeah, so you just sprinkle everything on top, and then you take your hand and you kind of like smash it in. Oh, that's all good. And then now you're sprinkling in the coconut flakes. So the reason why I do the coconut flakes last is just because it's Easter, we're using eggs. It just looks pretty. It looks like a nice.
It looks much better.
It looks like. Is that better? Oh, the paper. Ah, there you go. What? Tell me.
There you go. The paper
Use your words.
Use your words. That's something my friends and I always say to each other. I'm actually terrible at communicating. It's one of my like weakest points.
Good thing we're on a show. All right, cool. So yeah, so I just put the coconut on top because it looks like a little nest for the eggs, but like that's pretty much it. Is this better in the shade?
It's fine.
Okay, cool. And then now I have these Cadbury mini eggs. There we go. Cadbury mini eggs to put on top. So we're just gonna sprinkle them on top. If you want to make them look like they're cracked, you can get a little meat mallet and just smash them. Do not cut them with a knife because that's how you might lose fingers. But I found that these baked up the best. So if you subscribe to my newsletter, my magical rainbow chicken, I don't even know what it is, the magical rainbow chicken train newsletter. In this last month's issue in March, I talked about and I compared all of the different Easter eggs that I was using when I was recipe testing this, and what I found was these Cadbury mini eggs baked up the best. They looked the best. The pastel colors looked really pretty. And then Kirstyn, you've had dark chocolate ones, right?
Yes, I did, but the dark chocolate ones are more like red and dark blue color, so I didn't.
So delicious, but maybe didn't look as pretty. Yeah. I feel like these just looked prettier with the pretty pastel colors.
And honestly, there's not that much of a difference between their dark and their milk.
Oh, okay. And then M&M's also makes eggs. These peanut butter eggs. If you like peanut butter M&M's, these are the shit. it. However, I just didn't like the color palette for photographing. So you could totally use these too. They taste good. They just don't look as pretty as I find as the Cadbury mini eggs. And the one to avoid that we both love, so we were talking about our favorite candy earlier before we went live, was we love the Whoppers robin eggs.
That's
and
my
I
favorite
think,
Easter candy.
Like look-wise, when I put them all side by side, I like the Whopper malt ball robin eggs best.
Yeah.
They bake terribly in this.
They deflate.
They totally, it's exactly what it is. It's like you took a little pin and you went boop and they just went wah, like merp, merp. So they look ugly and they don't actually taste very good because once the malt balls melted, like it was kind of chewy. However, these are a great one. Sprinkle them on top.
We've got a question from Michelle. What kind of coconut are you using? Shredded, sweetened, toasted?
We are using a shredded sweetened coconut.
And it's not toasted because it'll toast in the oven when we bake it.
And that's how you know when they're done, is when like the coconut is just like a light brown on top. Because you can't really see if the like what you need is the cookie to finish baking, and hard to see. So the coconut is really your best indicator.
Do you do more than that?
Yeah, just douse them.
These really are pretty.
Yeah, I like them. I mean, I like them smashed too. I didn't smash these, but when you
Mine
bake,
cracked in the oven.
yes, I was about to say that. So when you bake them, the eggs will crack a little bit in the oven. Okay, evenly spread them, pretty good. All right, cool. So this is what they look like, you guys. Really easy. You saw how fast and how easy that came together. Just a blondie base, mix in some cornflakes, mix in pretzels, and then pour in all the stuff on top. Smush it down.
Yep.
Hey. All right, so now we're gonna pop it into the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. I'm probably gonna do them less since we're gonna do this in the outdoor oven, but if you're doing them in your oven at home, put them in the middle rack, 25-ish, maybe 30 depending, but don't over bake them. So a good way to tell is just look at the top of the coconut, and if they're a light toasted golden brown, they're good to go. All right, so into the oven they go. Come with me to this amazing wood-fired oven that we have back here, and I'm gonna tell you all about it. I'm gonna bring I got an egg timer so we won't forget and burn it like last time. Okay, so, ooh, let's go in.
This oven is so awesome.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it in here. So I'm putting this on this top shelf, and this is a pizza oven actually, you guys. So this is a pizza stone, and okay, so we're gonna close it. I'm gonna, okay, I'm gonna do 20-ish minutes so we can, yeah, so we don't.
Do you need more fire?
No, we're good.
315?
No, we're good. I opened it to let it go.
Okay.
It should come back up to temp. Okay, so this is the pizza oven we put it in. This is a smoker. So this is called an EcoQ, and it's a wood-fired pizza oven and smoker combo. Come in here. Wood-fired pizza oven smoker combo. So if you open up here, this is a smoker, and so we don't have it running as a smoker right now, but we can turn it on, put in some stuff, put in some smoking chips, and this chamber will fill with smoke, and we can finish stuff. So we actually do, I've been working on some smoked dessert recipes. There's a smoked brownie that I've been playing with that we will put up eventually, and Mr. Baking with Chickens is like, I want to go play this clip. Ooh, well here, I'm gonna put this in my pocket. And then here's the little fire chamber.
Wait, no.
No?
We're looking at B-roll right now of the smoker. So you can talk about it.
Oh, okay, so yeah, so that's the smoker, that's the little fire that we're starting. So it's wood-fired oven. We save a lot of wood trees, nut trees, and then that's
so
me popping
cool.
in the tray of brownies. They're smoked almond brownies, and they're so good, and they're coming to my blog eventually, whenever I get my together. Okay, so I'm going to show you the little fire chamber. So down here is where the fire is.
Definitely got to add.
Oh, we got to add. Okay. And we're going to add some, hey.
Sorry.
Here, I'll do it. Let me do it.
Okay, these little guys, we need to get fire going on it.
Okay. So we got to keep it going. So this
Here,
is
let me
really
blow on
tough.
it.
Here, I can do it. Here, give me that. So Mr. Bacon with Chickens is the fire master. I am not. That's dude in the background. So what are you burning? What kind of wood?
Well,
What do you use?
I use, because we're not smoking, I use 2x4s that are not treated with anything and not painted. They're bare. Actually, there's a couple of cedar chips in there. I'm using a lot of lump charcoal mesquite because it keeps the fire more even and keeps it from flaring up and getting hot. And then what I threw in here was, I believe this is a chunk of black walnut. And why I'm putting that in is because it's very hard and dense. And so it won't burn hot and fast. It'll just kind of keep it going for a longer time.
That's so cool.
But we are going to need to flare it up. So I'm going to put these in in a little bit.
We don't want it too hot though for this, right?
Right. I'm going to put these in a little bit because we're having pizza.
Yeah.
And we need it really hot.
You excited for pizza?
This is my dream actually. Did you know this? To have a pizza oven in my backyard and a chicken coop?
Look at that. Hey.
You're living my dream, girl.
Well, I can't. Well, we're gonna. So after we finish this, we're gonna talk to Kirstyn. We're gonna talk about all our little treats, and then we're gonna go visit the chicken coop. Oh, hey, look, you guys can see what's happening here outside. So, Kirstyn, thank you. Setup we have, guys. Look at this.
I thought I was walking into a ring. I was wrong.
Say hi, Casey.
Hi.
Hi. This is our friend Casey.
Hi.
He's helping us with camera. All right, so this is an EcoQ. There's a link in the description below if you want to check out their website. I think they're backed up with their product right now because of the shipping from China. It's like everything's delayed and backed up, but ours is the first generation EcoQ, which you open it and there's this like whatever these are, trays, blah, blah. The second generation, our neighbor actually ended up buying the second generation. And there's like, it pulls out and it has hooks where you can hang smoked meats, which is really cool. And then their firebox, you can pull out and do a Tuscan grill. I know, right? So this is like, we bought the first generation. I think now they're on to the third generation and they're building one that's like a combination wood fire and propane, which is super, super cool. But check out their website, ecoq.com. The link is in the description below. They don't sponsor us, they don't pay us, we just happen to have it. But hey, if you're watching, we would love to. I'm gonna throw that in there.
Can
All
I
right.
just say one thing?
Yeah.
I love that when you showed the eco here, that in the background was the area where I stashed all the junk and the ugly stuff.
Guys,
If that's your junk area, you're doing
know what,
pretty good.
there's so much stuff. Just, it's a mayhem house here. But it is what it is. All right, so these are baking for 30 minutes. I set my timer so we won't forget. But let's talk to Kirstyn while we're here. So look, she brought us cookies, you guys. Oh, look at all these cookies. Okay, let's open them up and see what's inside. And then tell me about them. So Kirstyn, how did you, like, okay, so we met like
A year ago.
Yeah,
almost.
a year ago.
June.
Instagram friends turned IRL friends, and I'm so excited to have you here in person.
I know. Me too.
But I met Kirstyn because I read about her company on a one of the daily newsletters called thehustle.com, and that's one of my favorite ones. Like, it's like the one email that I read every day, and it's so well written.
Same.
They do like these really amazing Sunday, like long form, in-depth researched articles that are always really cool and fascinating. But they have, like, maybe you can talk about it, like they have like an entrepreneur one,
Yes.
right?
So they have a group called Trends, which is honestly one of the best groups I've ever been a part of. It's just a bunch of really smart people. They totally helped me get my business off the ground. Anytime I would have a question about anything, I could post it to the group and I would get amazing feedback and support and resources, and I can't recommend it enough.
Cool. And you
so for
pitched your business at, so like they also do a big conference called HustleCon in January.
No,
which
it was
February?
December.
December.
Yeah.
HustleCon, yeah.
It was right after
So
Thanksgiving.
it's like an in-person conference to like talk about all these cool things in different businesses and trends, and you went and pitched.
Yeah, so
What
I
was that?
pitched, I was actually working on a co-working space prior to starting this the cookie company, and I got to pitch on stage. It was my first and last time pitching, and it was the scariest thing I've ever done in my whole life. I walked out. I thought I was pitching to a panel of 3 judges, and it was like a panel, and it was standing room only, and I literally almost fainted.
And
it was so scary.
what were you pitching? Like your business?
Yeah, I had to do a 3-minute pitch with no or anything. So it notified me that I petition like with 4 days notice. I had to write a pitch, which I'd never done before, and memorize it and pitch it on stage in front of like probably a couple hundred people. It was.
It's made.
I actually killed. I felt like a celebrity the rest of the day because the other 2 people that were like guys and like doing something tech that might relate. It was great.
Awesome.
But
Women
yeah.
own cookies. What's not the
Yeah.
So okay, so how did
So obviously when the pandemic hit, I had to put working space pause, and I had been working to pay the bills and lost that job. And I'm very much a busybody, so I just started ding-dong ditching all of my friends with chocolate chip cookies and brownies. Actually, I've had this brownie recipe for like a minute.
oh yeah, do you have the video?
Yeah, do you want to walk us
Yeah.
through? And
Oh my gosh. So actually, this is a perfect tie-in. So this is my friend Bailey's house, and she is all about doing collaborations, which is what gave me the inspiration to reach out to you about doing a collab. And we started talking about this, like doing our first collab probably in like October or
Yeah.
November, and I just have not been able to get my stuff together to like make something happen.
Who can get their stuff together these days?
I mean, yes, so this worked out perfectly, and yeah, so it was really ding-dong ditching Bailey, chocolate chip cookies. She was my first one. Sorry, I got sidetracked off the ding-dong ditch part.
So you made your cookies and then you just ding dong ditched your friends with these cookies?
Yeah, so like, I think I probably was doing like, I probably did 50 to 75 deliveries throughout LA with like every person I knew. And then after a month, people were like, you got to sell these. So I just built a Shopify website and was like, well, I'm not doing anything else, and I like have to do something
That's
right
amazing.
now. And here we are.
That's
A year
amazing.
later,
I love
almost.
that. All right, so I put like all these cookies out.
Yeah, so when I first started, I just had a cookie, the OG, which is a recipe that I've been making
We open it.
forever. Ooh, yeah.
This.
And I sold it baked and unbaked in dough form. The names were all different when I first started. I feel like it was called like the unbaked and the fully baked.
Hand a piece of cake because he's never had it. So you can get reaction. Talk like, oh, Mr. Baking the Chickens, you want a piece?
yeah.
Oh shit. That's really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, say it really loud.
Oh shit. That is really, really good.
They really are. Yeah,
Whole
lots of chocolate.
Oh.
So the name actually came about because it was my mom's birthday. We're all sitting around on the couch eating these cookies. And I was like, this really is the very best cookie in the whole wide world. And I was like, is that what we should call it? So I obviously the domain was not taken. So I grabbed the domain. My sister grabbed the very best cookie Instagram for me. Like we're hacking away on our computers, like bringing this together. And literally 4 days later, I had a website and was ready to go.
And so,
Need some help killing the rest of that.
no. Well, there's more cookie.
There's lots more cookies.
Don't worry, we're gonna eat these with lunch when we have pizza, guys. Holy crap! So
Seriously, they are out of
the
this
very best
world.
cookie in the whole wide world,
Yeah,
right?
That's really,
So
really
can I tell you? Okay, so I've been like, I share Kirstyn stuff. We've been doing things with Bakers Against Racism and Bake with Vogue. Kirstyn does Cookies for a Cause. And I had a friend who bought your cookies through me, like, because she saw it through me. And so she put in her order, and then she got an email that said, thanks for your order. Would you like to send cookies to a friend and get 15% off your order? And so she was telling me, and she was like, I see what you're doing, and I like it. And she ended up ordering more to like send to people.
Wait, I did that?
I think, yeah, she said that you got like something that was 15% off. Well, you should keep doing it because apparently it was really good.
worked really well.
Huh.
She had them and she was like, they're so good. Like, yes, like just people. And like, what's really cool is you have a cookie and a product is very shareable. Every, I know who buys your cookies and tries them are like, they're my favorite right now. You're my favorite cookie. I saw her post on
Thank you.
Instagram because
Thank
she shared yours. You the Cookies for a Cause, which I think is amazing, and Kirstyn gives back a portion of proceeds to different causes of whatever's going on. And week you're donating to
20%. Shoot, I can't even remember. I should have looked that up
so
before.
20% of the portions of profits to donate to stop Asian American Pacific Islander hate, because it's really shitty right now.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, and that's not the only thing you do. You were donating. What else have you donated to?
BLM was the first one that I did. I donated to, I forget what it's called, the Armenia campaign. I've done, God, I can't even, I should have done a refresher on this. I've done a bunch.
But yeah, that's what I love too, right? You're using your platform for a cause, and I think that's why we connected on a human level, because of Bakers Against Racism and Bake the Vote, because it's right, like you're using your platform to share what you believe in, and in that way, you're finding your tribe of people who also believe.
Yes. And also, it's so nice, like, as being such a small business, that I can just pull the plug and do whatever I want like that. Like, if I see something, you know, terrible that happens in the news, I can be like, okay, boom, 20% of sales this week.
Yeah.
And I don't have to run it by, like, the boss, because I am the boss.
Yeah. Well, and I love that, because right now I said, I'm like, you know, you're putting your money where your cookies are, and that's what it is, right? A lot of us say different things that we don't actually take action, and you're taking action, and I admire that so much.
Cool. It feels like, no,
Duh. All right, so cookie. All right, so I'll try
Why don't you walk?
Sure. This is the next most popular. I like
that might be my best seller now, actually.
Can you
Where?
leave it on the...
Okay, tell us about
its
it.
own sticker. So this actually happened on accident. I had somebody that had requested a corporate order for Rice Krispies, and I was like, let me just try this Smitten Kitchen brown butter recipe and cost it out for you. And I did that, and when I was browning the butter, I was like, why are people not toast the marshmallow? Like, a marshmallow should never be virgin, ever. They're always better toasted. So I toasted it, and then I thought it was going to be like a limited edition thing, and they've just completely taken off, and it's probably my bestseller. They're so good. You have to smell it.
I have to smell it. I'm gonna grab.
Oh, Christina brought one of those.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lost my freaking mind.
Yeah.
Actually, I had one, and I ate half of it in the car on the way home, and I was gonna save it for Mr. Bacon Chickens, and then I ended up just eating the whole thing, and then not telling him.
That's amazing.
Because it was just so freaking good. All right, go, guys.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Twist
yeah.
my arm.
Yep.
But these are like the biggest pain in the butt to make, because this is the only thing I'm still making out of my home kitchen. Everything else I make out of my commercial kitchen, but I have to broil the marshmallows, and I don't have a way to do that commercially, so I literally have to broil trays and trays of marshmallows to get one single batch.
It's worth it.
It's worth
my God.
it. It's definitely worth it.
Like, it's just like the toasted marshmallow, and do you brown the butter too?
Brown butter, toasted marshmallows, a
Like-
touch of sea salt.
Like, there's a nuttiness from the brown butter, and then that like charred marshmallow. It's just not. It's just there's a complexity that you don't get with regular marshmallow.
And I
cookies.
think that because Rice Krispie treats have always been a treat for kids, that is really time to like elevate it, and the adult
Oh my God.
version. They're so good. I love them.
So good. That sea salt and that are too. I made I call them bars. I was high.
Oh,
making
yeah.
things. I mixed together my Fruity Pebbles and cornflakes, and then I toasted the marshmallows and browned the butter, and it was amazing. This is actually where I got that inspiration from you. And I think I sent you the picture, and I was like, check out my FBF.
You gave me some.
Oh yeah, I did.
When you brought me the sample of, yes. Yes.
I was high making food, which will turn into a YouTube show whenever we get around to it. Okay.
There's your niche audience, for sure.
Yeah, I'm fine. All right, tell us about the brownie, because that's the other one that you just
This
introduced.
brownie is the fudgiest. So I actually developed this recipe when I was 20 years old, living with my aunt and uncle for a summer, and I would make them like every single week, and they've been a staple ever since. So when I was originally Ding Dong Ditching Friends, it was the brownie, the chocolate chip cookie, this coffee cake that we do that's an LAUSD like riff, which maybe I'll bring in at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, there's very little flour in them, lots of butter and chocolate and cocoa powder.
Casey's just like, is
salt.
your mind just blowing every time?
Chocolate chips for texture. But the beauty about these is that the edges get like crunchy when you let them sit out. So I almost like to make them fresh and let them sit out for a couple days, and it like you age after.
Oh,
And
they
it's just
are
like,
really fudgy.
oh, they're so good.
Like it's like a bar of fudge, but
And
not.
last weekend, I hadn't done this in so long. I microwaved it for 30 seconds and I had it with ice cream. And I think because there's so much egg, there's a lot of eggs in these. It like puffed up and became almost souffle-like. So if you ever get, I highly recommend warm a la
Kirstyn?
mode.
I don't like these. I love them.
Thank you. Thank you.
This,
Holy crap, they're so good.
I eat sweets constantly, right? We're always baking and I'm tasting, and so I'm not just, I am a junk, like I'm a garbage can. Like, I also have a discerning taste.
Yes.
And these are like,
They're
amazing.
But I mean, all the products I'm making are, I just use good quality ingredients. So ingredients matter, people.
We only got 5. Well, actually, what do we got? Oh, 372. Hang on. Checking on some temp, checking in on the time.
It's nice that you have a glass pan so you can
Yeah,
see how
kind
they're
of. Well, it's not terrible. I just don't want them to. We also have to go up to the chicken coop. All right, can you let's talk really fast about our collab.
Yes.
So you're going to be able to buy one of my creations for the very first time, thanks to the amazing Kirstyn, because I like to make delicious things, but I don't like to make them en masse and sell them and do all the production. But Kirstyn is a
I got that
whiz.
down.
She's got it down. So this is our very first collab product. It is the Magic Blondie Bars, and people will be able to buy them for Easter, right? So they'll be on your website starting Wednesday.
Yes.
And
Starting Wednesday, and they'll be available individually for $5.50 or part of our Easter basket box. Yeah. So those are the two ways
Excellent.
you can buy them.
So on theverybestcookie.com,
.com.
and the link is down below in the description if you want to check it out. You can buy them, and they will be available to start shipping as of next week.
Yes, the week of Easter.
Will they be available for the rest of the month of April or just for Easter?
Depending on the availability of very many eggs.
Yeah, because those are hard to find apparently. Those are hot commodity.
Yeah, I have another. I need to buy more. So if you find any in your LA area,
We have to go hunt them down. All right, very cool. So that is our collab, Magic Blondie Bars, theverybestcookie.com, and $5.50. You'll be able to order them individually in an Easter box, which can get all these other things. I can taste all these cookies, but we've got the butter pecan, a cinnamon snickerdoodle. We've got an oat. What is this?
oatmeal chocolate chip.
Oh, oatmeal chocolate chip. There's a raisin. She's got a whiskey blondie.
Let's just take a quick close-up tour.
Are the cookies?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them in the shade, sort of.
Oh, okay.
And we gotta go up to the chicken coop.
So walk me through if you can see what
Yeah.
I'm on.
So this is the chocolate chip with pecans. It just gives it a more caramelized flavor, I would say. I just introduced oatmeal. I have chocolate chip and raisin because apparently lots of people hate raisins. It's a very strong sentiment. I know.
I do not
true.
like raisins. I'm like Garfield the cat. Boo.
I didn't know Garfield didn't like raisins. Interesting.
Because they look like chocolate chips and you think they're chocolate chips, but then they're not.
That's why they're labeled. I learned that. Definitely learned that when I sent out samples to people. But yeah, those are, I mean, everything's made with bluegrass, so everything is delicious. Crispy edges and soft center on those. And then I also have the center, which is basically the same dough that we put in the base. And it is just doused in cinnamon sugar. It's not even a snickerdoodle. People always call it a snickerdoodle, but it's just my regular cookie base because I'm not a baker and I don't know how to do recipes.
We're going to work on
That's for you. Yeah, and that's everything.
it. Awesome. We go see the chickens?
Oh, hold on. Let's talk about how much time is left.
5-ish minutes.
Ah.
But like, you know what? They could bake for a little longer because it's kind of been like fluctuating. So the hard part about baking in a wood-fired oven is keeping an even temp. Like it's been fluctuating from like 320 up to 375. Now it's back to 320. So
Well, it's not hard.
we're
We're,
distracted
yeah.
with shiny things. All these shiny things.
So a 5-minute piece of content just to get us up there.
Oh, okay. What do we think?
We could go after.
Well, they're cooling. They're gonna need to cool.
That's true. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay, we could do that. Yeah, let's catch up on some comments and then, because I want to show you a broody snozberry. Because Michelle asked a really good question on the very first live episode was, do chickens get mad when you take away their eggs? And I explained the whole thing, but now you get to see a broody chicken.
Yeah.
She's funny too. She's very cute. oh, look at that. Hey. Guys, we're getting real fancy here. Okay,
Look
what
at
do we
that
have? Wow,
technology.
okay. When can we get the ding dong cookies?
Oh no.
Or were the,
Nope. That was a little.
oh, the Hostess cupcakes?
Yeah, the
Oh, those were so good. She gave
Those-
me one and they were the shit.
It'll take me like 4 hours to make like 12 cupcakes, so those are gone.
All right, so also like apricot bars with your mom.
That's our family recipe that my mom makes for Christmas every year. So
good.
those will be back for the holidays.
So
My mom made
good.
every single one of those last year. Bless her. I was losing my mind.
Emily Coville says she hates raisins too. Thank you, Emily. I am
Yep.
with you. Diana
That's the
Shaw,
thing.
mass production on lock. Yeah, that's the hard part. Well, but scaling, I think that's the hard part about any small business, right? And like I think that's why I love talking to you. And we kind of touched on it a bit, like as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, cookies or any business you're trying to do, scaling up is the hardest.
Yeah,
Like,
and I've scaled like a little bit up. I would say I'm pretty low on the scaling.
but your goal, like, what's your goal? Like a year from now, 5 years from now, like where do you want to see this?
Oh, I want to be like the new modern Mrs. Fields.
Hey, so you're gonna have to scale big, and I think that's
Oh, yeah.
so. Like I don't know if you guys know, so I worked for the restaurant company Tender Greens for many years.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Oh yeah, I worked for Tender Greens for many years, and I helped them grow. So I helped them grow from like when I started working with them, they had 3 restaurants, and then I took them to 30 restaurants.
Wow.
And they opened their first New York location. And the hardest part is scaling, right? When it was small and you had a couple things here, it was really easy to do. And then once you start kind of getting up to like 7, 10, 12, 15, 30 restaurants. Oh, hey. I'm gonna let them sit for a little bit before I check on them. It's really hard because you're trying
Should
to.
we add more time?
Nah, it's okay. I don't remember. You know, you're trying to keep consistency. You're trying to have brand standards, and then people want to do all those different things, and then, right, as you know from scaling a recipe, once you keep adding more, it's not as simple as doing. Things start changing.
And then you add in SKUs. I have way too many SKUs right now. I mean, hello.
So, yeah, bok bok bouquet. Hard no on the raisins too. Hi, no worries that you're late. Oh my God, so bok bok bouquet just got some new baby ducks, you guys. So if you love chickens and ducks, go check out bok bok bouquet's Instagram channel later. And they have the most adorable baby ducks in the whole world. Okay, look at that, literally drooling. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside. I'm gonna put this here. All right, let's see.
So you are much more together than I am in the sense if I don't have an alarm set, I 100% am burning it.
Let's. Okay, what do we got here? I can't tell if they're done. So they're a little toasty. Let's see. Okay. So,
I feel like they might need some more time.
yeah, they could use a few more minutes.
And yeah,
Hi.
they smell good though.
No, they look pretty good. I think I'm gonna turn it and let them. So like, okay, so this is how I know you guys. Okay, so take a close look. Where are we at? Dustin, close-up cam. Okay, so see how like there's still the coconut's still white over here, but it's browned here, and the condensed milk isn't really bubbling. We need it to bubble, and that's how I know they're gonna be done. But this glass sure is hot.
Have you baked with baked with glass in there before?
I don't remember. Because we did it in the smoker. Because usually like we'll make pans of cookies. I haven't made it like,
skillet cookies.
I haven't made a skillet cookie. We don't have a cast iron because by leaving it outside in the
Get
rain.
you a new one of those.
Yeah. Should we give it a few? What do we got? What do we have here? 340. I don't want to burn them is the thing.
Yeah, so if we go up there.
Yeah, we're totally
they
going to
might-
burn them if we go
What's
up there.
the temp at?
342.
When I baked mine, I did 30 minutes and maybe a little bit extra time, and they didn't burn, so I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah. You have like 5. It's like kind of like a. It's tricky with a wood-fired oven, though.
Yeah.
You could, you know what? You could totally do desserts on the grill too. If you guys know, and I know the LA Times did an amazing article with Valerie from Valerie's Confections about doing all of these different desserts you can make on the grill. So that's something like we haven't done. I haven't done yet, but we have this amazing grill, and
Can I
maybe
come over for that?
Yes. So maybe this summer I'll start doing some grill desserts.
I can't
because
wait for entertaining
well, we
again.
want to redo our kitchen, which means we won't have a kitchen, so we're gonna have to start baking outside, which is a whole other thing. I mean, I think like those skillet like peach cobblers in the summer,
Oh
the
my God.
outdoor
I am
entertaining.
so excited for stone fruit season.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
it's
just
the best.
excited I get to see you in person. Like,
know.
you got your first vaccine.
Yes, I did.
We're getting ours next week, so we're super excited because that means we can actually like hang out and. I know it's nice. It feels like things are getting.
I'm at this weird point, or not so weird, actually, where I have never wanted to introvert and extrovert at the same time so
Yes.
hard. Like introvert on the regular, but extrovert like
Aw.
everybody.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry
Me
for
too.
any family that's watching.
What's going on over there, Dustin's?
Well, it's the fire's dying.
So after we finish this, Kirstyn's gonna stay and we're gonna have pizza. We're gonna fire that
I'm
up to.
so excited.
What do we get this up to? 600, 700 for pizza?
Try to go to 7 if I can have the time.
How many minutes does it take to do a pizza?
He's the pizza master. I don't know.
Oh, how many minutes to cook it?
Uh-huh.
Well, if I get it really hot, we're talking like a couple of minutes.
Oh,
Yeah, so we do wood-fired pizza. We're gonna do Detroit pizza. So if you guys have never had Detroit pizza, it's like kind of like a pan pizza, and then you put the cheese so it melts over the edge to get crispy cheese edges.
Apollonia's does that. Have you had their pizza?
No.
that's so
Where's
good.
that?
Oh,
Yeah,
the
it's by
dough.
me.
We got going today.
Oh yeah, Dustin made the dough. He's been playing around with sourdough. Ooh, I saw an amazing recipe for sourdough cookies. Have you tried those?
No, last year when of course, the first month of quarantine, I was doing all the homemade sourdough, and then I killed my starter. But I have heard that you can, put some of the discard.
Ooh, has
the-
anybody done that? Has anybody made sourdough discard cookies? I know.
You started to organize that last summer.
We have a chicken
then
shit bingo board that like we can play chicken shit bingo, and if you've ever played it, it's a giant board with numbers painted on it, so it looks like a bingo card, and everybody stands around waiting for a chicken to take a shit on a number. And then if they shit on a number, you win. It's a good time. All of these things, yeah, this is our summer. So, okay, what do we got? Thanks, everybody. You guys are still hanging in. You're awesome. I think these are good. I feel good about pulling them out and going up to the chicken coop because it's kind of been sitting in there for.
Okay.
Let me see. I know you just got the fire started, but that is okay. Let me see.
Well, I do have to troubleshoot the chicken coop fan.
Oh, is it not working?
Well, it just kind of went out.
Oh. I feel like this is good. It's gonna, yeah. Because you know what the good thing about this too is? There's really no wrong. You can have gooey blondies.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Like, who-
everybody loves gooey.
Yeah. I
Well.
think it's pretty good. All right, so this is what it looks like. So you can see the eggs kind of cracked a little bit on top. The Miles, shut your yaps. Goodness, buddy. Hi, yi, yi. So the coconut is a little toasty. You see it's still white. This dog. And then, yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's gooing a bit, but it'll be
Okay.
good.
We've got.
So I'm
coop
curious,
down.
have you baked with these eggs before?
This is my first time.
Have you baked with, have you baked with very much other candy?
Not really.
I feel like we should do a,
Whole candy bar series?
Yes.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
What would be your first one? What should we
my
make? You guys?
goodness.
Tell me your favorite candy bar. I'll make something.
what have I been wanting to make? So actually, this is funny. When I made my version of this, I was trying to do a crust, but use the toasted marshmallow as like a base to hold it together,
Oh.
the topping part together, but it didn't work. But it almost turned into like a nougat
Yeah.
with the pretzel crust. So I feel like it'd be interesting to do some kind of like marshmallowy, but just lay the pretzels in, like whole pretzels, and then cover it with chocolate.
That sounds like what kind of like. Is there a candy bar that exists that's like that?
I don't know.
All right. What's everybody's favorite candy bars? Go. Ready? All right. So, but before we do that, we have a little note from a non-sponsor, but hopefully you'll like it. Welcome to Shit in My Kitchen. So Mr. Baking with Chickens really loves to buy just gadgets and things, and I dislike them. So we thought it'd be fun to, whenever we do get a gadget or have something cool in our kitchen I want to show you, we're gonna have this segment to talk about this thing. What's the shit in my kitchen and what does it do and how does it work? So today I am looking at egg slicers. So in terms of gadgets, I generally don't like them and I might as well just slice an egg with a knife. But if you're gonna be using a lot of eggs, like egg salad, because we have lots of eggs that need to be used up, a little egg slicer tool could be totally the way to do them quickly. And the one we had broke recently because it had, you know, these little wires, and then sometimes as you use them, the wires get loose and then they get caught and then it didn't cut anymore. So it was totally a problem. And so we just got a new one. We have two that I want to show you to compare. So this one is from OXO and then this one is from Favia. The difference is, so the OXO one has the little like guitar string kind of wires that you usually see. And this Favia one has blades, like they're actual like hard metal blades compared to the strings of the, see, look. It's like a little guitar string. So we're gonna compare the two. So because this is new, I suspect it's gonna work really well, but eventually they do loosen. So this is interesting. We're gonna try it out. Okay, first up, we're gonna do the OXO. And I have 3 eggs here that I peeled earlier, and stay tuned, I'm gonna show you how to peel boiled eggs. So this first one here did the best, and these two, I did 2 other methods that mixed results, but I think it might be because how I boiled my eggs. But stay tuned, I'm gonna show you that at the end of the episode. Okay, so first one's first. Let's do the OXO. I'm gonna do this kind of mushy looking one. So you take your egg, put it inside, and then just go boop. Look at that. So we have all of these nice sliced eggs. And then if we're doing, ooh, look at that, it's nice and runny inside. So that's one way to get the nice slices, but if I wanted to do chopped, because I'm making an egg salad, I would then pick it up, flip it the other way, and cut it again. So, cool, I'm into it. OXO, you never do me wrong, always good. But there were some complaints in the reviews that the wires did get loose eventually, so Okay, so here's this other egg, and we're gonna try this Favia one. So this one's interesting. It's kind of like a tong. It's got a spring inside that kind of makes it like springy and bouncy, that the OXO did not have. Okay, so this one's a little bit smaller than the other one. So like this one, I could probably fit other things. This Favia is kind of small. It's just for the size of an egg. Okay, so I'm gonna put this sideways. Hey, look, they even have a little indent. Oh, I don't, yeah, okay. I'm gonna push it. Ooh. I thought I was gonna like this. I don't know how I feel about it. Okay, I'm gonna chop it the same way just so I can compare. Oh, look it kind of like squishes the egg more because of the small space. Ooh, and then look, it totally gets stuck in here, whereas nothing got stuck in the OXO. And oh, this Favia thing came with like this little brush that you can like brush out. Like, you freaking kidding me right now? That's not gonna clean anything. Oh, that is another problem. Check it out. Okay, so now I've got egg bits all stuck between these, and that's gonna be really hard to clean. Like, I can't really get a sponge in between. And like, yeah, that's real nice. I have this adorable little brush that doesn't actually clean. So I don't know. I thought I was gonna be into this, but I'm realizing its limitations. Cause look, now it's all stuck in here and I don't know how to get it out. It's kind of got all destroyed. It got all mashed up. See, like how much egg is left inside here. Like, look at that. There's like so much egg left inside. Whereas, because it's got these like thicker things, and then this does not. It comes out on the other side very easily. Poor design, poor design. Okay, I'm gonna try this one. It's gonna be the same thing. But yeah, okay, so this is what I learned. Okay, so see how like there's a lot of space here? Like the space between the OXO is much larger than the space that's in the square one. So that's why when I cut this egg and it squishes, like this, like it ran out of room. Like this might only work for small eggs. I've got some large eggs and it didn't really fit into that green square. But it does fit into this. See, look, it squishes out and that's still not a problem. And it's nice and clean. Nice clean cuts, whereas the other one squished all over the place.
Yeah. You're on the third egg.
All right, I think OXO wins, you guys. We're keeping the OXO and returning that one. Ta-da! All right, thank you for watching this segment of In My Kitchen. Let me know if there is a gadget that you really like, or if there's something you see that I'm using here in my kitchen that you really want me to talk about. All right, thanks. Back to your regularly scheduled programming.
And live.
Really no audio, huh?
And she doesn't earn her keep. She's just a big bully.
Mother hen.
Yeah. Here you go. What do we got? Okay. Dude, I love you, but you're a little bit crazy right now. All right. Can you guys hear us? How are we doing? Okay. They have audio down there. Can you guys hear me talking?
Yep, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Okay. Hey.
And we back.
We got the technical difficulties. Excellent. Okay. Snazzy, come here. You're back. So Kirstyn was asking me, how do you catch a chicken? And I was saying, you got to do it decisively and quickly. And it's like holding a football. It's like you got to tuck their little wings in so they don't flap. Huh, Snozberries? So this is Snozzy's. She was very broody and she wants to sit on eggs, but she seems to have snapped out of it.
So wait, where are their eggs?
They're right behind you. You want to check it?
Yeah.
So lift it open. Here, we can collect eggs. So,
so they get in there from the inside. Oh
yeah,
my God,
check it
this
out.
is so cool.
Yeah, and then there's like a little here, and then there's a latch you can hook this onto, so it'll stay open. Wow. Yeah. Look, Snozzies.
So I had posted some eggs from Christina when she brought me the samples, and they had feathers on them. That's when you know they're fresh.
That's how you know. Yeah, I don't wash the eggs because eggs have a natural bloom layer on them, so you don't have to refrigerate them. But after you wash them, you've washed off that beneficial antibacterial bloom layer, and then you would have to refrigerate them.
And how long do they last?
Like 30-ish days on the counter. Yeah, if
good.
it's not hot out, they're totally fine.
That's so cool.
I don't know if you can hear her clucking. She's making these very cute little noises.
And does each hen, are they called hens?
Yes.
Have its own like cubicle?
No, so we want to make like certain number of nesting boxes per chicken, and I can't remember the exact number. Bok Bok Bouquet, if you are still here and watching, how many nesting boxes per chicken should you have? So, because like you want to make sure there's enough for all the chickens to go share. But for the most part, all of them want to lay in the same nesting box. It's very weird, like they fight for the same one. So you see we have a camera on one, the nest box cam, and they all tend to like to lay there. But Snozzy here has been broody, so she's been this for like all day. So when chickens are broody, they want to become a mom. So she wants to sit on the egg and hatch it. And so when they sit on the eggs, like they just sit on it all day like a mom, and like they won't leave to go to the bathroom or eat except for like a very, very short periods of time, because the egg has to stay a certain temperature in order for them to incubate and hatch and turn into a baby chick.
Okay.
And because we have Dude, our rooster, we could have baby chick. Dustin and I aren't ready to be chicken grandparents yet.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that actually. This is a very rudimentary question, but how does it go from being an egg to being a little baby?
So dude will run around and rub his kalaka onto their kalakas. Here, you want to put these into the basket? Well, you can collect some eggs for me. Okay, I'll show you a chicken. You guys want to see a chicken kalaka? I'm sorry, Snosberry, you're such a good sport. I'll give you extra treats. Okay, this is a chicken kalaka. Can you see it? They look like a tiny little mouse. Sorry, Snozzies. So chickens have one hole, two tubes, right? So their eggs and their poop comes out of the same hole, but there's two tubes inside. And so a rooster will jump on top of her, and then, so roosters don't have a penis. They also have a kalaka, and he will rub his on hers and then squirt some sperm in. And hopefully that sperm travels up through her oviducts and will fertilize like
I'm pretty sure I've never learned this.
Most people don't. Well, Dustin skipped sex ed in school, so he's missing some of this info.
Yeah.
So the sperm.
Humankind and animals. Yeah.
So before, grab those other ones too. So before the eggs get their shell, so the yolk, right? So hopefully the sperm will fertilize that yolk, and then it turns in and it gets the shell as it travels through their body, and then that's a fertilized egg.
How long does the shell take to develop? Do you know?
So right now they're laying like one egg a day.
Wow. So in one day?
Yeah. So in 24 hours, their bodies will process one little ovum, and then it goes through. So it's the yolk, and it gets the white, and then it gets the shell, and then it gets covered in with the shell gland, and then it comes out their butthole.
That's cool. That's very. I don't think I've ever learned that. I'm pretty sure that doesn't sound.
So now you know. So this one is Snosberry's egg. So this one belongs to her. She's such a good sport right now, or she's very angry at me. But yeah, so you can see like all the different colors. So I mean, I know the difference between all the eggs. Okay, off you go. Bye. All right, okay, let's see, what do I have? You should add a Casey segment each week. You guys are hilarious. Okay, you can have as many, okay, so Bok Bok Bouquet says you can have as many nesting boxes as you want, but they fight over one. That's pretty much what happened. I had two of them were jammed in the same box trying to lay at the same time today. Cat apocalypse. Oh my, literal birds and bees, LOL. So, yeah. All right, so that's our chicken segment. And should we head back down?
We should.
Yeah.
And you've got a.
I was laughing because she saw the spoon tip and from Sad Poppy on TikTok. And I only know about Sad Poppy because Kirstyn told me because he's cute.
He is cute.
Okay, so we are back. We're gonna do this. Oh, I should wash my hands before I touch these since I was holding a chicken. Okay, let me wash my hands because chickens are dirty little creatures. We want to wash our hands before we touch things.
Should I do mine too?
We're gonna be, Okay, set this aside. All right, let's cut this.
How do you do that?
Ooh. Yeah. They could probably for a little bit longer, but if you're in the oven,
Oh my god, that looks so good.
I think they're gonna be good. Okay, shall we?
Let's do it. Oh my gosh, so gooey.
So gooey. Probably could have used a little longer, but this is a live show.
Ain't nobody got time for
Ain't nobody got time. So we're just. It's probably. If it's not big, back in, and it's gonna be fine. We're gonna eat a corner piece because these are definitely done. Okay, cool.
Oh.
I'm gonna cut that in half. I don't know if I can eat a whole one. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. These probably also need to cool a little bit longer. These are still very hot. Okay. I don't even know if we can. I'm gonna eat this corner. You want that corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely let these cool all the way before you cut into them, because it'll help solidify everything and like keep it together. Yeah.
Oh my god, they're so good. I like them gooey.
Mmm.
These are great.
All right. So, what we got? Tasting decide. Oh my god. Okay. So they're so good. Dude, I really like this with your cookie base.
Yeah.
It's insane. Okay, so this is my first time tasting it with Kirstyn's cookie
Oh
base.
yeah.
It's so good. All right, so you can get this Easter Collab, Very Best Cookie and Baking with Chicken's Magic Blondie Bars with Very Best Cookie base and my Magic Blondie Bar on top. You can get them on theverybestcookie.com starting this Wednesday. And how can people get them? So it's available in LA. Can people order them and get them shipped?
Sure can. I ship nationwide, even to Hawaii. And everything ships FedEx 2 days. So if you want to have them by Easter, you should order them by a week from Tuesday, whatever that date is. It's April. The first Tuesday in April.
First Tuesday of April. All right. So,
Hold on 1 second before we close out. Got a little.
sounds like we're getting chicken sounds.
The stream. Well, it's a little. The will come through,
All right.
but it's choppy.
Okay, so I'm going to talk. It's choppy, but hopefully you can see we are wrapping this up because this is a crazy disaster. But we had fun, and I hope you guys had fun too. So don't forget to order your Easter Magic Blondie Bars on theverybestcookie.com. It's going to be available on her site starting this Wednesday. And you can order all of her other delicious cookies and that delicious Rice Krispie treat too. I highly recommend it. And you know what? If you want to mail Ding Dong Ditch some cookies to some friends, I bet they would really like it too.
Absolutely.
So, sharing is caring. Send some cookies and delicious brownie bite Magic Blondie Bars to some friends. I see your comments about the candies. I saw some Twix. I saw some Snickers. I saw Take 5. I'm going to take a look at these. And
Food
we're
for
gonna,
thought.
Yeah, we're going to see what kind of yummy candy bar things we can come up with. Reese's, dude, I love that's Mr.
I
Baking with
know.
Chicken's favorite too. You know what?
I have a
really
peanut butter cookie coming in May.
Ooh.
For another collab that's actually going to be benefiting Mental Health Awareness Month.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's my favorite cookie.
Got you.
All right, so all of these delicious candy cookies, and thank you for